Welcome to Teaching Truth. For many people, the thought of flying in an airplane at 38,000 feet and at 500 miles an hour is enough just to inject a very real sense of fear within them. For many years, I suffered from a fear of flying, and yet with encouragement, I have, broadly speaking, overcome that fear. All I need to do now to put my foot on a plane is just to take half a diazepam tablet. That's enough just to take the edge and to calm the natural anxiety that I'm feeling. And as a result, I enjoy flying and I enjoy going to different places that I would otherwise never have had seen. As a result of overcoming my fear of flying, I've flown to the United States of America. I've flown to Gran Canaria, to Malta, to Dusseldorf, to Poland, to Amsterdam, and to many other places besides. If you want to experience the exhilaration of flying at 38,000 feet above the Alps or above the Atlantic and above the clouds, you've got to overcome your fear and put your foot on the plane. And if you want to experience the exhilaration of walking on water with Jesus, as Peter did, you've got to overcome your fear and step out of the boat. In our reflections today, as we continue with the theme of Profile of a Water Walker, we want to look at the very real fact that water walkers acknowledge fear. Peter acknowledged fear when he stepped out of the boat. In the passage in Matthew chapter 14, that exciting and that action-packed passage which tells of the disciples in the boat and Peter stepping out of it, when Peter noticed the strong wind, he became frightened. He was fearful. The reality is that when we step out of the boat, the fear doesn't go away. The thought of stepping out the boat doesn't go away when we actually physically, metaphorically, spiritually step out the boat. In fact, the opposite may well be true. The circumstances swirling around us like that storm may actually increase the fear. But we have a choice either to remain in the boat and not to address our fear, or actually, with Jesus' help, to overcome our fear and to step out of that boat. Here is a very simple but profound truth for us all to consider. Fear will never go away. It's a very human and natural emotion. Each time we want to, as it were, take a step out of the boat and take a step in the direction of Jesus, a step out onto the ocean, as it were, we will experience a certain element of fear. Susan Jeffers writes this, quote, "The fear will never go away as long as I continue to grow." And the thing about water walkers is this, that they accept fear as the price of growth. Had I not accepted my fear of flying, I would never have overcome it and grown and have been in the position of flying to different places and different countries and growing in my confidence to be able to do that. Fear and growth go together like salt and vinegar, like chips and cheese, like Laurel and Hardy, like Morecambe and Wise. Fear and growth are, in a sense, two sides of the one coin. Fear and growth are a package deal if you like. The decision to grow will always involve a choice between comfort, staying in the boat, or risk, stepping out of the boat. And with that risk comes an element of fear. It was Karl Barth, the theologian, who said this, that comfort is one of the great siren calls of our age. Water walkers accept fear as the price of growth and acknowledge fear. Each time we step out of the boat and just take those tentative small steps, each day we do that, we become a little more open and a little more likely and less fearful to getting out the boat the next time. It's not that the fear goes away, a very natural human emotion, but we get used to living with the fear. Every time I go on an aeroplane, it's not that the fear goes away, I can't magic it away, but I learn how to manage that fear by taking that little diazepam tablet. We realise that fear does not have the power to destroy us. And so Peter, as it were, when he stepped out of that boat, when he saw the wind, when he felt the waves under his feet, when he experienced that very human and natural emotion of fear, he in that moment cried out to Jesus. It was his diazepam moment. And Jesus, as it were, prescribed to him his hand. He took his hand and he helped Peter overcome his fear. So what fears do you have today? Because the reality is that until we acknowledge our fears, we can never truly experience growth, spiritually speaking. Fears are only natural, we're only human. We will experience fears, worries, and anxieties. But will we, like Peter, put our fear in the one who can help us overcome our fear? Water walkers acknowledge the reality of fear. Peter did. If we want to walk on water and experience the exhilaration of being where Jesus is and where the adventure is, we have to overcome that fear of stepping out. We have to step out of the boat and walk on the water with Jesus. And Jesus is the only one who can help us overcome that fear and to say to us, "Fear not, for I am with you." Is that a word that you need to hear today if you are fearful about stepping out? Hear the words of Jesus coming, as it were, across the waves. "Fear not, I am with you. I have redeemed you. I have called you by name, and you are